How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Luka Doncic has been absolutely incredible so far, even better than most people expected. Already one of the best players in the NBA and looked at as a legit MVP candidate. Many all-time greats in the past at age 20 weren't even in the NBA yet. So let's take a look at Luka's incredible second season, comparing him to some of the best 20-year-olds in NBA history. Taking the whole basketball world by storm, the Slovenian native fell in love with the game at an early age, where his father, Sasa Doncic, was a good player himself, who played in the EuroLeague until his mid-30s, and his godfather, Rashon Nesterovic, played 13 years in the NBA. Young Luka started playing organized ball when he was 7, always competed against the older kids, playing in the 10-year-old division, performing tricks that had coaches speechless, a born killer on the court, was even moved to the 12-year-old select team division, and before officially becoming a teenager, Luka was towering over everybody, standing at 6'2". At 13 years old, he turned pro, signed with Real Madrid, moved to Spain, a huge transition, was practicing with former NBA player Sergio Rodriguez. With all his accomplishments at an early age, competed against European NBA stars in the Gasol brothers, went at it with future teammate Kristaps Porzingis, was fearless, and was also teammates with former NBA player Anthony Randolph, who couldn't believe how great the 17-year-old phenom was. Going up against grown men, Doncic became the youngest player to win EuroLeague MVP and was already the best player in the second best basketball league in the world. Lived up to all the hype, selected third overall by the Atlanta Hawks, Dallas traded for him in exchange for Trae Young and a future first that turned out to be Cam Reddish. The Suns and Kings are already regretting passing up on a once-in-a-generational type talent. Doncic easily went on to win Rookie of the Year, putting up over 21 points, almost 8 rebounds, 6 assists as a 19-year-old, having better numbers than LeBron's rookie season. Less than 3 weeks into his second season, many guys have their sophomore slumps, but Doncic continues to get better and now recognized as an NBA superstar, averaging nearly 28 a game, 11 rebounds, over 9 assists his first 9 games of the season as a 20-year-old is absolutely historic and absurd, by far having the most triple-doubles in NBA history before turning 21, now getting all the national media attention he deserves, having 4 triple-doubles his first 8 games of the season, doing it easily on a nightly basis. All of a sudden, Dallas is viewed as a potential playoff team this season, while Doncic is also in the MVP conversation. If the Mavs continue to win games and perhaps even win 50, the team is not very deep at all. Outside of Doncic and Porzingis, the 20-year-old phenom can possibly become the youngest MVP all time. Derrick Rose won it at age 22. No 20-year-olds in the history of the NBA was looked at as a legit MVP candidate. Having similar tools to James Harden's step back, combined with the patience and poise offensively as Kawhi Leonard, always relaxed and in control of his pace, and adding LeBron James-like vision, having all the tricks in the world fooling his defenders, combined with the alley-oop lobs, there's only a limited amount of NBA players who can make the passes Luka can, with the awareness and perfect timing, and already having excellent chemistry with Dwight Powell and Maxime Kleber. His lob dishing might go down as the best in NBA history. Also one of the best pick and roll players in the game. When his defenders back off, he drains the jumper, toys around with the centers, and a master at the floater from mid-range. Once the defense is trailing, Doncic will find the open man even with an inch of room, will officially turn 21 in February, and destined to become the 4th youngest player to receive some MVP votes, where rookie LeBron and rookie Melo earned some ballots, second-year LeBron and rookie Isaiah Thomas of the Pistons. As of now, Doncic is regarded as a top 10 player in the NBA. Yes, right now, he's clearly better than Russell Westbrook without question, and arguably right up there with Kyrie and Damian Lillard. He's not in the conversation with the best of the best yet, like the LeBrons, the Kawhis, the Hardens, and the Giannis's of the world, but certainly in the discussion with the Jokic's, the Embiids, and the Paul Georges of the world. Right now, Luka is between the 8 to 12 best player in the league in my opinion, and he might be top 5 at the start of his 3rd season. Some of the other best 20-year-olds all time had some of the best careers in LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Durant, and Magic Johnson. Some of the other all-time greats in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell were still in college at age 20. Let's take a look at Kevin Durant at 20 years old, who averaged 25.3 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2.8 assists on 47% shooting, had 3 40-plus point games on the season, but wasn't a game changer like Luka yet. His team was one of the worst in the league, having rookie Russell Westbrook, a young Jeff Green, and Nick Collison. He was in the making as a future superstar, became the youngest scoring champ at 21 years old a year later, but Durant wasn't even an all-star yet at 20 in the tough Western Conference, and also not quite a top 10 player in the league yet. Kobe Bryant at age 20, who was an all-star in his third full season, averaged almost 20 points a game, 5.3 rebounds, almost 4 assists, 1.4 steals in 50 games on 46.5% shooting, the 99 lockout year, but was on his way to superstardom, made All-NBA third team. The guards who made it above him were Jay Kidd, Allen Iverson, Tim Hardaway, and Gary Payton, who were more established and older at the time. Bryant was talked as the next MJ, having superstar potential, but wasn't quite a true superstar yet. Wasn't in any MVP conversation. Being the second best player on the Lakers, Shaquille O'Neal was the best player in the game at the time, and the Lakers' clear-cut first option. Bryant only scored over 30 points twice in those 50 regular season games, had similar numbers in the playoffs. It wasn't until the following season, when Kobe was 21 years old, that he became one of the best players in the world, making all defensive first team. Shaquille O'Neal at age 20, his rookie season in 92-93, as one of the most hyped prospects all time with his incredible size, strength, and dominance. 20-year-old Shaq was like Zion, but 7'1", was already a superstar in the game, averaged 23.4 points, nearly 14 rebounds, 3.5 blocks in 38 minutes. Before his 21st birthday, Shaq played 54 games as a 20-year-old, put up pretty much the same numbers, and was unquestionably Rookie of the Year by a mile, made All-Rookie first team, even finished 7th in the MVP race, was also a top 10 player in the league behind Jordan, Olajuwon, Barkley, Malone, and already in the discussion with Robinson and Ewing. And Shaq should have made an All-NBA team, but Derek Coleman of the New Jersey Nets made third team over him. O'Neal was clearly the better player without question, led his Magic team to 41 wins, a 20-game improvement from the season before, just missed the playoffs, losing the tiebreaker to Indiana. Ironically, rookie Shaq averaged the most rebounds and blocks of any season of his career, had one of the best rookie seasons all time, was also the first rookie since Michael Jordan to become an all-star starter, a brief taste of how dominant he would be. Magic Johnson, the greatest point guard in the history of the game, was easily the first overall pick in the '79 draft. After winning a national title with Michigan State, the Magic Man was also an all-star, making All-Rookie first team, recorded 7 total triple-doubles. His impact was already felt, with the Lakers winning 47 games the season before him, to losing in the semis, to winning 60 games, and being a legit contender. Jabbar was still the best player in the game, won his 6th regular season MVP, averaged 25, 11, 4.5 assists. Magic put up 18 points, almost 8 rebounds, 7.3 assists, 2.4 steals on 53% shooting, put on an absolute show every night, but didn't make first or second team All-NBA since there was no third team at the time. But Magic was clearly a top 10 player as well his rookie season. Jabbar, Bird, Dr. J, George Gervin, and Moses Malone were the only guys who were better than Magic at the time. Johnson was sensational in the postseason as well, averaged a near triple-double, 18.3 points, 10.5 rebounds, 9.4 assists in 16 games, saved his best for last, becoming the youngest player ever winning Finals MVP, put up 42, 15, and 7 in Game 6, starting at center for the injured Jabbar. Before Game 6, Johnson's rookie regular season high was 31 points. Flash forward 40 years later, 20-year-old Luka has a very similar game to rookie Magic, a better scorer and shooter than Magic ever was, both even in rebounds, and Magic the better facilitator. But if 20-year-old Luka had a Kareem caliber superstar on his team replacing Magic for the '80 Lakers, Luka too would have won the title. I give the slight edge to 20-year-old Luka over 20-year-old Magic. Let's take a look at 20-year-old LeBron James, who averaged over 27, 7, and 7, 2.2 steals on 47% shooting, averaging a ridiculous 42.4 minutes in 80 games, and after turning 20 on December 30th of 04, James averaged 28.8 points, over 7 rebounds, 7 assists, a little better numbers for the rest of the season. James had 4 total triple-doubles his second year, was also named an All-Star starter, and Player of the Month for November 2004 and January 2005, making All-NBA second team, finished 6th for MVP voting. A huge improvement compared to his rookie season, similar to what Luka's doing right now. Cleveland had a 12-game improvement from LeBron's rookie year, and a 7-game improvement, going from 35 wins to 42 wins his second season. Having all-star centers as Zydrunas Ilgauskas and a bunch of average role players, his team started off on fire, on the verge for a postseason berth at 21-11 overall, but fell apart, finished 11-19 to end the season, lost the tiebreaker to the Nets for the 8th spot. The team fired head coach Paul Silas in March with 18 games left in the season. James's most memorable moment as a 20-year-old came on March 20th of 2005, becoming the youngest player to drop 50+, 56 points against Toronto, played all 48 38 minutes until Devin Booker broke that record. LeBron was also easily a top 10 player at the time. The only guys better than 20-year-old James were Kobe, Duncan, Shaq, Garnett, Nowitzki, Iverson, and arguably McGrady and Nash. The first 27 games of James's third full season before turning 21 put up 30.4 points, 6.2 rebounds, 5.6 assists, and 41.4 minutes played, and continued to get better. LeBron established himself as a top 5 player in the game towards the final few months before his 21st birthday. Of all the best 20-year-olds in the NBA I mentioned, Kobe and KD were clearly not as good as Magic, Shaq, LeBron, and Luka. I put 20-year-old KD ahead of 20-year-old Kobe, who was more consistent as a scorer at that age. Luka slightly better than Magic with his scoring and all-around game. After turning 20 last February, Doncic put up 22.1 points, almost 10 rebounds, 7 assists on a bad Mavs team over the final 15 games of the season. Doncic still has 50 regular season games to go before his 21st birthday on February 28, 2021. It's a very close comparison with 20-year-old LeBron. Both put up excellent all-around numbers. If Doncic continues putting up close to 30 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, and put Dallas in the playoff picture before March, I would give the slight edge to Luka over LeBron. But if Doncic goes through a slump, I go with LeBron. James is way more athletic at getting to the basket, but Doncic is a better shooter. If I had to choose who I would want to close the game out in the last 5 minutes, I'm taking 20-year-old Luka over 20-year-old LeBron. Shaquille O'Neal was the best 20-year-old in my opinion, was already the league's most dominant and imposing player, would often take it coast to coast in transition at times, was insanely ripped, had a 36-inch vertical with just 10% body fat. While getting drafted, he single-handedly improved the Magic's win column from 21 wins to 41 wins, the most physically dominating player alongside Will Chamberlain. The way how he dunked and posterized other 7-footers and broke baskets was flat out scary and filthy. Maybe if Shaq did have Kobe's work ethic, he could have been the top 2 or 3 player all time. For the next 49 games, if Luka averages around 30, 10, and 10, becomes the youngest player to win MVP in 2020, I will officially declare Doncic as the best 20-year-old ever over Shaq. Realistically, I predict he will finish between 6 and 10 in the MVP race. Since he also has another proven star in Porzingis on his team, I believe Dallas can sneak into the playoffs, win in the mid-40s. Currently, I say Luka's the second best 20-year-old ever, giving him the slight edge over LeBron James, but for the next 4 months, Doncic can prove me wrong and be number 1. Who do you guys think is the best 20-year-old in NBA history? In my opinion, it's very debatable between Magic, LeBron, Luka, and Shaq. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I talk NBA comparisons, amazing storylines, NBA history, and anything basketball that will interest you. If you love the NBA, subscribe for more content, more great stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.